probably tell by the title up there that this is going to be an opinionated review on something, as opposed to my other reviews, which I've tried to make as objective as possible. I mean, for the most part, reviews are, if you're making them well, you know, the focus of it is to give sort of, you know, give a review of what you'll get from an experience or a product without giving your own opinion. But in this one I felt that I prefer to give my own opinion along with, well, I wouldn't even call it a review, to be honest. It'd be more like an opinion segment of mine about something. And today's focus is going to be The Big Bang Theory, the weirdly popular TV show that's now into its 6th season, I'm assuming, because it's just become available on Channel 4, or rather 4OD online. And so, as a very brief background, I'm not new to the series. I have seen a few episodes before. Now, over the summer, I was quite a fan of, still am, quite a fan of Scrubs, and as such I'd watch a lot of E4, and then after Scrubs would come on, they'd start airing The Big Bang Theory. Now, this to me seemed interesting, because it was essentially a bunch of really geeky people making geeky references and stuff. I thought, this is brilliant, this is great. So I watched about 2 or 3 episodes and then realised that it wasn't what I expected, but then I thought, well, maybe I just watched the start of the show or something where it's trying to find its feet, you know, maybe a few bad episodes. So I tried to watch a few more. And in the end, over summer, I probably watched about 12 and stuff. Now, I had admittedly only watched possibly a few episodes from 2 or 3 seasons, so maybe I don't have the best like view on it, but I feel that if I spent 6 hours watching a series, I should have at least got a very mild understanding for it. As such, my review today, whilst it will be about the series in general, I'm going to review in specific episodes 1 and 2 from season 6, which are available online, which is where I found the clips. As such, all of the clips in the review will be from those 2 episodes, but I will talk about the overarching, you know, point of the series as well. So I'm going to begin with episode 1 and the clips that I found I had a problem with. As I said, this is opinionated, so some of you may love this show, and from what I've heard from a lot of people love this show. I just want to give my opinion on them. Okay, well, the first scene I'm going to sort of review is about 1 minute 40 seconds in. The main character in it, Leonard, I think, has been sent to space with NASA or wherever, and then this scene occurs.
Wives don't take boys from their mothers.
They do, that's why we marry them.
I just hope I'm not dead from a broken heart before you get back.
Ma, please. Everyone from NASA is listening to this phone call.
Good. They should know what a horrible son you are.
Okay, Ma. Great talking to you. Gotta go. Well, space is ruined.
Okay, now, in the scene, the sort of, his mother, the Jewish woman stereotype, which is also hilarious and has never been done before in any comedy show, is shouting at him, which ends in a laugh track playing roughly every 5 seconds, right, which is a bit weird, but, you know, that's passable. I mean, Friends had a laugh track that played fairly regularly, I think. But anyway, so, you know, then he delivered the line, well, space is ruined, which led to a huge amount of laughter throughout the crowd. Now, maybe it's just me, but for the entire 30 seconds, all I got was the sort of want to just go, yeah. It's, I don't know, it's really weird, and especially at the last deliverance of, well, space is ruined, everyone in the audience seemed to piss themselves with laughter. Now, I've looked into this, and the audience is recorded live when they perform this. And the audience members are partly made up of MIT students. As in, you know, people who are, like, incredibly intelligent in university. And they seem to find this hilarious. It's really weird that this is such, like, a funny scene, really. They've really overused the laugh track a lot in this, and it just sort of makes it really absurd. If you play this back without listening to any of the laugh track, it would just be like really, really boring, sort of, and the delivery would be really weird. I've actually seen a YouTube video once of someone who took out the laugh track of Big Bang Theory, and it was quite literally this deliverance of, "Hey, what are you doing?" "I'm playing something on the laptop." "Oh, okay." "Yes, it's badly coded." "I'm not having much fun." And it sounded really, really bad because it had no laugh track in the middle. And it makes you wonder the deliverance of the sort of actors, if they actually had to time this so they knew that when the audience had laughed, they'd have to stop talking. Which is an incredibly bad way to do comedy. Okay, this next scene is about Sheldon, the main character of the series, the one with the short hair, being asked by Raj, the Indian one, and before you think, the Indian one, that's a bit racist or stereotypical, I am not even shitting you. The entire series, the basis of why he is funny is because he's the Indian one. The amount of times that the show has literally revolved on a 2 or 3 minute joke, just revolving around, you're not from America, are you? You're from somewhere else. Ha ha ha, you have different values over there. It's not just sort of, it's nice to have different values. It's more like, yeah, you aren't aware of American things. That makes you weird. It's really weird that that's an accepted stereotype in 2012. That the Indian one is an actual stereotype for a character. But anyway, so they have a discussion about going to a spa where fish nibble people's dead skin off their feet. Which is also met with the sort of the audience reaction of, ew. So I'm not sure if this isn't a commonly known thing in America. If this is new, or if it's just something that American culture aren't happy with, but over in Britain it's a fairly common thing. I have one in my town, and my town isn't exactly big or bustling. But anyway, so then it leads to this scene.
Guppies on those puppies.
As I've stated before on numerous occasions, the only sea creature I would even consider being eaten by is the Kraken. Because the last words I would hear are, "Release the Kraken." That never gets old. Release the Kraken. Oh, chills.
Okay, well, in this scene, Sheldon remarks that if he were to be eaten by any sort of aquatic creature, it'd be the Kraken. Now, that in itself can be taken as, it's a bit of a geeky reference. I mean, it's not really geeky, but then I guess if, if you assume this show is about geeky people, then you're probably thinking that the Kraken is quite a geeky thing as well. But he mentioned it, fair enough, and that he'd like to be eaten by it. Now this gets raucous laughter. To me that's possibly worthy of a giggle, because it's a bit weird. So then he says, I'd love to hear the line, "Release the Kraken." Fair enough. Then, 5 seconds later, he repeats the line. This gets more laughter than when he first said it. It's quite literally like going up to someone and going, "Man, I really like The Dark Knight Rises. Love that part where Bane said, 'When Gotham is in ashes, you have my permission to die.' And then gets a mug and just goes, 'When Gotham is in ashes, you have my permission to die.' 2 seconds later. We get the point already. You don't have to repeat it. Were they trying to fill time or something? Because there's only an extra 8 seconds, but they added it as if, what'll get more laughs if we redo the same joke again. But they do this a lot in the series, so I guess it's not exactly a precedent here. And then we get this scene.
Absolutely. You're the girl, I'm the guy. Now you watch your football game while I make you a little plate here.
Thank you.
So we get it. The scene is, it's a bit of a role reversal. It's sort of, the guy is all girly, the girl is all, manly. I mean, it's a bit weird, but I wouldn't call it
All right, who's ready for another beer?
I'm good. No, thank you.
Girls?
Oh good, it's a running thing then. It's not just once, it's twice in the episode. Because, do you get it? Because they're nerds and stuff. It's like they're girly, get it? Because clearly if you're dedicated to something, then that means you're not masculine. There's a really weird theme that they're running with, again. It's sort of that, it's like, and the girl they're trying to impress is manlier than them because she likes sports. Sports are manly, right? Comic books, on the other hand, no. They're all for, like, emasculated men, I guess? I don't know. It's a really weird joke, and it's like, do you get it? Because, like, because she likes sport and he doesn't, so she's the masculine one in the relationship. Which kind of makes me wonder that... I know a lot of girls who like sport and I know a lot of guys who don't, but I equally wouldn't say that one of them is manly and the other isn't. It's really lazy writing on sort of like stereotyping nerdy people, really. Sort of, it's really lazy, not just a bit like, oh, let's run with the old stereotype. Finally, at the end of the episode, this scene occurs.
I'm having a nightcap. You want to join me?
What are you drinking?
Coffee, liqueur, and a Chewbacca mug. I call it a sad teeny.
Okay, now, Raj enters into the comic book store, and the guy's like, hey, I'm having a nightcap, do you want one? He's like, okay, what is it? I'm drinking liqueur. Okay, fair enough, that's a fine conversation piece, because it's followed up by, I call it a sad teeny. That's the joke. Okay then, but he mentions in between that he's drinking from a Chewbacca mug. You know, because that's nerdy, right? Now, this is really weird and unwarranted. He owns a comic book store. He's obviously going to be fairly into nerd culture. Now, Raj is probably aware of what Star Wars is. So he's probably not going to go, oh, that's very curious. Tell me more about this Chewbacca fellow. I've never heard of him before. Also, Raj has fucking eyes. He can see this for himself. There's a mug that looks like Chewbacca. It's stupid. It's literally just adding something to go, hey, we're nerdy. Remember, we're nerdy. Because nerds love Star Wars, right? In which case, I'm a Kit Kat fan. But seriously, it's like me halfway through this review going, oh, by the way, I'm just going to go over to the other side of my room there because I've got a replica weapon from Final Fantasy VIII. That would be out of fucking nowhere and out of context. Fair enough, if I made a video going, this is my collection of things and did it, then it would be in context. But this is out of fucking nowhere. This is quite literally like going, hey, let's set up a scene. I'm a nerd, by the way. Okay, let's continue this scene. Everyone knows what the theme of this thing is. To put it into another context that isn't nerdy, it's quite literally like going up to someone like that you've known for a while. You know what things they like. And then going, I'm going to take my jacket off now. But don't worry, not nude underneath, because I have a Guns N' Roses t-shirt on. That's right. It's the same thing. It's out of it's like drawing attention to something that doesn't need drawing attention to. The audience can see it's a Chewbacca mug. You don't need to go, hey, it's Chewbacca, by the way. Also, he's playing on his Nintendo 64. That's right, by Nintendo, because he's a nerd. It's just stupid. Okay, now on to episode 2. Now, I'm not going to show you the clip from episode 2, because there is a minute long, and that's a minute. I mean, there's not much goes on in the scene, but something I noticed about the scene. I decided to begin counting how many times the laugh track was played during an episode. Now, I thought, this is manageable, you know, by the end I'll get like 60 and I'll be able to like be really bitter. 60 was far too little. Right, basically, I watched a minute. It is quite literally from 0 to 1 minute into it. And this included about a 2-second like intro sequence CGI thing of a molecule moving about. So, let's say 58 seconds, but no, let's round it to a minute. A minute's easy, right? I counted 8 tracks. Now work that out. That is a laugh track played every 7.5 seconds. Now let's also factor into the count that a laugh track will last at least 1 or 2 seconds. Okay, so you know, let's say it lasts 2 seconds because it has to come in for you to hear it and to ring out for it to be a proper laugh. Now that would leave 6 seconds of dialogue between each laugh. 6 seconds. Can you imagine if that was a real conversation? If you were talking to someone and laughed every 6 seconds, they would think you were either incredibly drunk or that you were thinking of something else. Because no conversation in the entirety of humankind has ever resulted in people laughing every 6 seconds during a minute-long piece of conversation. This is ridiculous. This is overplay of the laugh track. If it was every, say, 10 seconds, that would be... No, that would be moderately retarded as well. That's 6 seconds of dialogue. Can you genuinely imagine a conversation that would go like that?
Sure.
Hey, Front Lobes, did you clean the space toilet?
Okay, so in this clip, the Russian astronaut person asks how Howard or Leonard, one of the two. That's really bad writing two characters with the same phonetic sounding name. Anyway, he asks the guy in space if he'd flushed the space toilet. That's right, the space toilet. People, these are professionals. These are working with NASA. They've gone into space. So they're working on a shuttle. They now refer to this as the space toilet because they obviously have a normal toilet, apparently. The space toilet's just like floating in space somewhere, probably. Why would you call it the space toilet? It's still a toilet. You still shit in it. You don't shit in space, you shit in the toilet. You don't go on holiday and go, oh fuck, I'm going to take a French shower. Or, oh damn, I forgot to lock the German door. You don't do this. This is stupid! Now, that was episode 1 and 2 of season 6. I thought I'd show you clips because I could literally, criticise, segments that you at home can see. But there are other ones that I haven't been able to get because, I don't have them on DVD, obviously, and stuff. So anyway, I'm trying to think of a few other sort of circumstances in which the show has tried to be nerdy and come off about as well as one of those, people that wear the cake is a lie on their t-shirt and then go, what's Portal? Right, so one of the best sequences I can think of is, I remember this almost word for word because this sums up how brilliant of a show The Big Bang Theory is. So it opens with Sheldon opening a box and going, oh hey, my mum sent me my Nintendo 64. This is met with raucous laughter. This is fucking weird. He's mentioned a console and that's funny. Okay, well over here is my controller for my PS3. Did anyone laugh then? If you genuinely laughed, then stop watching this review, right? And just go and watch something else. Because you clearly don't understand what is funny. So anyway, after this point of the hilarious point there is, he has a Nintendo 64, which I have at home, so in that case I'm a comedy legend here. I also have a 3DS, just pointing that out there, that's it's going to win me some points there in the comedy world. But anyway, right. So he continues this by going, oh look, she included my memory card. For a Nintendo 64, my memory card, Nintendo 64, they don't work! Nintendo 64 cartridge saves the thing on the cartridge itself. That's why you never bought memory cards for Nintendo 64, because they didn't have any! They had the expansion pack. This didn't remember any data though. That meant you could take a game over to your friend's house without taking memory cards and resume from there. That was the brilliance of Nintendo 64. Now, I've watched this footage a bit, and he seems to pick up a PlayStation 1 memory card, which is kind of like going, hey, I have an Xbox. Awesome, I'll bring over all my GameCube games. This is just fucking stupid. But this isn't, again, met with loads of laugh, because memory cards are funny as well, right? I have a hard drive. I mean, that's pretty funny, right? It backs up data. I'm not seeing why this is funny. And anyway, so then he continues and says to his flatmate, Leonard possibly, hey, do you want to play some Nintendo 64 games tonight? And he says, don't you remember, I have a date. This is again really funny because it has loads of laugh tracks. Because, nerds never get dates. Anyway, so then, but then Sheldon goes, oh, it's okay, I have 3 controllers. And then mentions he wants to play Mario. Now, you may be thinking, but he could be playing Mario Kart or Mario Party. No, because he has several times mentioned Mario 64 and how he loves it. If he had Nintendo 64 and wanted to play Mario, he'd probably refer to Mario 64. So then, he is genuinely assuming that 3 people can play Mario 64. 2 people can't play Mario 64. There was the whole Luigi rumour. This led to several people spending several hours on the game, fruitlessly. He would know you can't play 2 player, let alone 3. Who the fuck would be the 3rd player? There'd be Mario, Luigi, and Peach? It makes no sense. And this is just one of the jokes that really annoyed me. Another one was when they got burgled. I can't exactly remember the list of things they got stolen. But basically, if you look online for the top 100 best-selling games of the last 30 years, they've essentially taken the first 10 and listed them off. Now, I was slightly hopeful. He mentioned Final Fantasy VII. I thought, oh, he may be onto something here. Maybe he'll mention he has 8 and 9. Maybe 10 and 12 as well. No, just Final Fantasy VII. No, the best known one. What Mario games did he have? Mario 64. He had incredibly mainstream things that clearly showed the producer basically went, what are really popular games? Okay, all of them. Now I'm fairly sure he mentioned he had about 3 PS1 games without owning a PlayStation 1, and he didn't have a PS3. Which is very interesting, because even collectors don't tend to buy games just for the fact they have games. Now, that's all the bad jokes I can think of. I mean, there are tons, don't worry. Oh, actually, no, there was one about Zork. There was a really, really funny joke about Zork, because it's a text adventure from the 80s? That's funny, right? But yeah, anyway, so that was a sort of hilarious point. So anyway, on to the characters. There is Sheldon. Regardless of how many times Chuck Lorre will deny this, an autistic person. Now, I'm not trying to make fun of autistic people. I know some people, and they are genuinely awesome people. They have brilliant memories. I personally don't see anything like funny about them, but he clearly wrote Sheldon in the mind of autistic people, but won't admit to it. It's kind of weird. Now, Sheldon is an unfunny character. People laugh because he's so emotionless and stuff. It's like, okay, but that also means he doesn't mean to be funny. It's really stupid. And the amount of times I've heard people say to other people, thankfully not to me because I'd have hit them, but they've said to other people, oh, you're just like Sheldon. Which is possibly like saying, wow, you have no emotions. It's pretty big, insult-ish. Anyway, so then, there is Leonard. Seriously, the writing, Leonard and Howard, they sound quite literally almost the same, and the characters aren't exactly very much, different. Leonard is, I don't know what archetype he's meant to be in the geek universe. Sheldon's the unsociable geek, which is, again, something that remains since the 1950s, but, keep it modern, innit? So, Leonard is the one who loves the blonde cheerleader type girl across the hallway. Again, this just leads to more sort of really, really boring, sort of cliched plot. But yeah, he sort of falls in love with her and stuff because she's so pretty and stuff like that. And then, it's funny because, he has asthma, I believe, which, again, apparently loads of geeks suffer from, which is, again, hilarious, because asthma is fucking, well, when people have asthma attacks, it's rolling on the floor type stuff there. That is proper comedy gold. But, so, there's him. Then there's Howard, who's the pervy geek, get it? Because no geeks ever have sex. That's a universal rule there. That's not just stereotyping from America in the 1950s again. Who lived with his mother, another archetype of geeks, get it? Because I don't understand why he lives with his mother. He has lots of money. He's a scientist. He probably can live on his own. I don't see why the stereotype makes any sense, really. Is he poor? Or does he love his mother a lot? Is that bad? Is that something to be laughed at? Because the rest of society is like, no, fuck you, mum and dad, I'm not going to see you again. As they move out, never seeing them again. It's really weird. And then, of course, there's Raj, the Indian. That's the funny part of it. He's Indian. And he can't talk to women. I'm not actually sure this is a thing. It may be a thing, but then I think it's the same thing that people can't speak to anyone, not just women. It's a genuinely weird cast. And all of it comes down to, rather than laughing along with the adventures of some lovable geeks, it's laughing at them. It is quite literally laughing at them. So many times they refer to themselves and go, we can't do that, we're not very strong. because all geeky people aren't strong. This is an incredible stereotype. This is quite literally as if it made like comedy about black people and then went with all the stereotypes there. But no, that would be lambasted like fuck. This one, on the other hand, people are just like, yeah, I know a geeky person who's just like that. Then exactly what applies as geekiness? I'll probably make another video to go with that, because this is probably running over by now. But it's the writing, the jokes, the canned laugh. Well, no, it's not canned. It's sort of live, which is nice. Well, it's nice, as in it's slightly forward thinking, but it's not nice in that those fuckers will laugh at everything they do. Seriously, the comedians, and they use this very lightly, could say anything about technology and this would be a punchline. They could quite literally go, is it in HD? Yep, 1080p. Ha 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 ha. How many of you know what HD and 1080p are? You probably know what most of these things are, yet you laugh along. And people say this is the most hilarious thing on TV. Is it? Maybe I'm just a bit cynical towards this, but I quite like comedies. I have never once laughed out loud at a Big Bang Theory episode. I may have snickered or gone, that makes sense. But that is it. So I'm looking forward to all of your comments in the comment section below. I mean, it's probably not going to go well, but, you know, maybe some people that will agree with me that 6 seasons is 6 seasons too long for this shit. I've been Imminent Tortoise. This has been a long video. I am very, very thirsty. Thanks for watching.